Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 5th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery with the Doppler radars overlaid. You can see we've got some showers across western Washington trying to move down into the Willamette Valley here. You can see the wraparound moisture. It's bringing some precipitation for eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, and at moderate at times here. So kind of a beneficial rainfall, a little bit unusual here to get this without having to deal with the rain shadow effect. We're getting some of that southeast and the easterly winds here, so we're not getting that compression wind off the Cascades for now. That's going to be changing here pretty quickly, though, with the next system. Things are going to get back to normal, and we're going to get that westerly flow aloft here. And we're going to keep things cool, and we're going to bring some snowfall in for the higher terrain as well. But after that, we are going to be warming up as we roll on in through this next week. Some very warm temperatures showing up in some of the models. We're going to be diving into those details as we go through the video here this morning as well. So we have winter weather advisories up here for some of the Cascades of Oregon. You see we got wind advisories also, and you can see this winter weather advisories for snow above 4,000 feet, additional snow accumulations 2 to 8 inches, heaviest above 5,000 feet, and some 45-mile-per-hour gusts are possible. This goes through 6 p.m. this evening. Watch out for that difficult winter travel. And this is for today here, National Weather Service Spokane. This goes through tomorrow morning. I mean, check it out. These are pretty good rainfall amounts for places that don't get much rain. Look at Moses Lake and Ritzville, up towards a half an inch, maybe even more. Stalling over central Washington this afternoon, and yeah, from the southeast. That's why we're not dealing with that rain shadow effect. But look at Walla Walla, an inch and a half. What a beneficial rainfall. And this is going to be shifting east this evening, gradually ending overnight as the westerlies take back over. And this is the early May mountain snow. Pendleton, Oregon here heads up for the higher terrain again, especially above 4,000 feet, getting some snowfall out there. And this was updated this morning here, so watch out for those winter driving conditions. This is for Missoula, Montana National Weather Service. And this is western Montana, north central Idaho. Watch out for those gusty winds here as we go through Monday and Tuesday as the westerlies come roaring back in here. I-90 east of Missoula to Butte. Again, gusts locally 50 plus, choppy lake conditions, localized tree fall, and some high profile vehicle. Watch out if you're driving those big rigs out there. It's going to get windy Monday and Tuesday. This is today's thunderstorm outlook. It does include southeast Washington, eastern Oregon, portions of Idaho here. Does not include western Washington or Oregon today. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, speaking of lightning detection systems, this one has it, and it's kind of fun to watch here. When you get lightning in and around your area, it'll tell you how far the lightning strikes are away. It's got an ultrasonic rain gauge. No, it has an ultrasonic anemometer. It's got a haptic rain gauge, so it can tell you the moment it starts raining at your house. It'll even tell you how hard it's raining and how much precipitation you're getting there. So yeah, click on that link down below to save 10% off. Highly recommend that station. Now, taking a look at what's going on, this is 500 millibars. You got British Columbia, you got Washington, Oregon. Check out our system here at 18,000 feet. That's what's bringing that beneficial rainfall. But we've got another trough hot on its heels here, swinging through as we go through Tuesday morning. Now, this is Tuesday afternoon, and if you look off over the Pacific Ocean, there's the ridge, there's the trough. And as you put this into motion a little bit further into Wednesday, look at that ridge, that northern extent here. This is really a favorable position to really warm things up here across much of the Pacific Northwest, maybe breaking some record highs for some areas. We'll see how that goes. We're going to go in a little bit more detail on that for tomorrow. We'll start to look at some of the record high temperatures and see if we have an outside chance of breaking some of that. But yeah, by the time we get towards Friday night, you can see the ridge is going to be overhead, and the ridge will be building really all as we this week over the Pacific Ocean and nudging its way into the Pacific Northwest. Now, if we take a look at the North American model, this is 6-hour precipitation, and you can see again the nice precipitation amounts occurring across eastern portions. Cascades as this next system starts to push on in here as we go through Monday morning. And you'll see during the day Monday, we've got some pretty persistent convergent zone activity across Snohomish County here, and then eventually dropping down across McKean County. You can see the onshore flow and the showers all the way down through western Oregon, running into the Cascades, dropping some measurable snowfall. But this is going to be the last system for a while, so enjoy this one here coming up. This is shown Tuesday afternoon, and by the time we get towards Wednesday morning, we're really going to be wrapping up the precipitation here across much of the region. And this is looking at the upper level low here. You can clearly see it at 18,000 feet, and that wraparound moisture. But then we turn things back towards westerly here as we go on into the day Monday and Tuesday, and things get back to normal, pretty typical trough rolling through. And then you can see the anticyclone here off the coast of the Pacific Northwest, and that is what's going to be building our ridge as we go on in towards the end of the week. Now, taking a look at 5,000 feet, temperature anomaly, and of course you can clearly see where the below average temperatures are. Scroll on in, we get this next trough rolling in. Excuse me. Now, as we push this on in towards Wednesday afternoon, you can clearly see that high pressure dome here, that anticyclone, the clockwise rotation here off the coast, and you can really see the temperatures aloft get cranking here as we go on in towards Friday afternoon. We're definitely going to be warming up. Confidence is increasing greatly in a early to mid-May heat wave coming up. Now, if we look at the daily max 2-meter temperatures, we still have a few days to go. This is for today, Sunday. You can see maybe some upper 50s for southwest BC, some 50s up and down western Washington. Here we go into Monday. There's Tuesday, and then we start to warm up a bit there as we go through Wednesday. Look at Thursday, some 70s widespread, southwest BC up into the valley areas really starting to warm up this time of year, maybe hitting 80s across portions of western Oregon also. But look at Friday. I mean, it's calling for 79 in Seattle, some mid 80s there, maybe some upper 80s out there across some of western Oregon. And then we look at Saturday, 80 for Seattle, and we could get locally higher for some areas. And you can see some upper 80s showing up east of the mountains as well. Sunday still stays warm. Monday, Tuesday, who knows what's going to be coming by that time frame. We'll be breaking that down, of course, day by day. You can see the European here, of course, the next 4 days or so as we go through Wednesday. It's going to be below average. The red line is the average temperature for this time of year. By the time we get towards Thursday, we're probably going above average, and we're going to stay there for a bit. And, well, how long will we stay there? Good question here. We'll be watching that, but we definitely are going to have the spike of temperatures coming and probably a very nice, glorious weekend rolling up on us here as we go through May 10th, 11th, and 12th. Now, taking a look at GFS, it's been showing some pretty lofty temperatures for Seattle. Look at Saturday, 84 showing up. You know, the GFS can get pretty crazy with its warm temperature biases sometimes, but they do make changes to these models, and we don't know just what the extent of this bias is right now. We'll see if the GFS is onto something, but the European has it pretty darn right warm here, at least mid or upper 70s for Seattle, most likely. This is Spokane. You can clearly see the troughing and then the warm-up coming for the weekend. Portland, something similar. Much more likely to get 80 plus in Portland and versus Seattle, kind of typical there. And yeah, and you can see even the European has things getting up into the 80s as we go through Friday and Saturday. So looking at total snow, again, I just want to kind of show you this. We are going to be still dealing with some winter driving conditions across some of the higher terrain here. You can see some of the snow flying here as we go through, what is this, Monday night on and through Tuesday morning. But then after that, we really wrap things up as we go towards the weekend coming up here. This is the National Blend of Models. And if I scroll way out, 10 plus days, you can see not much snow additional there. So it's probably going to be the last system for at least a week or so. And also looking at significant wave heights, we are going to look at a little bit of bump of the wave activity here as we go on in through Tuesday. Nothing too crazy, at least compared to wintertime, but then that ridge is going to be building here, and you can clearly see the lack of the waves out there. Maybe some offshore flow going on, and yeah, it'd be nice, kind of being out there on the coast. If you like it nice and calm, this is your chance as we go through the end of the week and on into the weekend. This is looking at the short-term composite drought indicator, and you can see we still are abnormally dry here across some of the Pacific Northwest. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We may be dealing with some above normal fire conditions. And again, that kind of depends on what kind of events we get during the summertime, because those east winds, those compression winds, they dry things out. And when you get those with some of these very abnormally dry conditions, then you can start to be looking at some increased fire danger. And hopefully that's not going to be something we're dealing with with a great extent here as we go through the summer months, because British Columbia and Alberta, we can also get smoke from those areas too, down into Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, and into southwest BC. Let's cross our fingers there. And there's the long term, not looking too hot for the Cascades of Washington especially. And this is the percent of average precipitation since April 1st. So we have been pretty dry here over the last month or so across much of the Pacific Northwest. And you can see this is since January 1st. Oregon definitely doing better than Washington, Idaho, and portions of Montana. And this is since the water year has begun. Again, Washington running that deficit. But yeah, we're going to be dealing with some below normal temperatures here for the next few days, but definitely enjoy it. If you're a Moss back here across the Pacific Northwest, you're going to want to get out and enjoy these next few days, because we are really going to ramp up the temperatures, and you'll see everybody out there on the local beaches there with the pasty white legs, the first maybe one of the first times there you're wearing shorts here. I mean, we've had some nice days here, but this is going to be really the first very warm stretch here across much of the Pacific Northwest, with some areas getting up to the 80s. We might even get to the low 80s for places like Seattle or maybe across southwest BC, especially back into the interior areas and especially east of the Cascades as well. So anyway, I hope you guys like some warm weather because it's coming at the end of the week. We'll do this again tomorrow. Click like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys then.